City of Huntington's Fire Department is asking for volunteers who can help at the station. No experience required. The department is also offering a program for teens at least 16 years of age who are interested in the career. East Texas News Weekend's Vanessa Johnson visited the station to learn more about that program.
The Huntington Volunteer Fire Department is asking for any volunteers who have the time and interest in helping the city's department.
We need people across the board, financial, paperwork-wise, to help us out on that. And, ultimately just good firemen. Training
Officer Devin Beatty says in addition to more members, they are trying to implement a program for the younger crowd.
We just want to get that spark started, early for kids that maybe want to pursue a career in the fire service and also help out.
The age for this program starts at 16 with a parent or guardian's consent. Participants will get the same training as actual firefighters. The experience they gain can follow them to other stations or other first responder careers. Carson Arnold, a driver for the department, says he didn't have a program like this, but his parents were both emergency personnel.
I started the fire academy 2 weeks after I graduated high school, and I was hired by the Lufkin Fire Department a couple months after that. And if I could change it, I would not change it.
Beatty says as a safety precaution, participants will not work actual fires or car wrecks until they are 18. Then they will have the chance to sign on as an official emergency responder. In the meantime, they can help in other ways, such as cleanup measures after.
But a great place to get started and get the experience is volunteer.
Vanessa Johnson, East Texas News Weekend.
If you or someone you know might be interested, applications are available at Huntington City Hall and the fire station. We've set up a link with more information on our website. Just scan the QR code on your screen or click on the